The Lord is thy shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepare a table before right in the presence of our enemy. Unu anointed I head with unu oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. I go follow I all the days of I venny. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah. Kadama we grumabia tela Igzag beer Tanaistalina bashante shante 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 shante. Kadama we grumabia tela where 2 centuries meeting at the name of the Most High Jah. That's so Jaja de. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. Same way if Jaja never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks and praises unto your name, King of kings and Lord of lords, the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. Amasa Yahuda Amasa Negusto Negusto Danielama Komaya Sataya Aimana Pio Aya Kadama we grumabia tela Igzag beer Tanaistalin Abashante shante. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rastana. In every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And every time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something nutritiously sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, flavors, and even sizes and colors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot to be subjected to some amount of heating. And then they produce this wonderful sumptuousness. Food. Interestingly, the food does not even benefit the black pot, neither does it benefit the ingredients. Rather, it benefits us, the eaters. Yet every time, this collaborative effort between the black pot and the ingredients will continue. It's the same selfishness that we have to put aside and pick up the selflessness. The black pot represents the continent of Africa and the ingredients represent us as a people. Now we must come together to produce development for our people, our continent, our land. It is time for us to all come together and plant trees. For so long we have been planting tomatoes, onions, pepper, one season crops because we are selfish. We want to be able to live, harvest this quickly, eat, sleep, die, be buried and be forgotten. We don't want to plant trees because we believe that we will not live long enough to enjoy the shade of these trees. But the good thing is that we don't have to personally live long to enjoy the shade of these trees. Generations yet to come, our children, our children's children would one day sit under these trees and they will praise us and pray for us for the wonderful work we put in place. The same way we are benefiting from the works of those who lived before us. The shades of the trees planted by generations that did not live long enough to witness the shade of these trees. This must be that Joshua generation. Remember the law of the harvest. You plant and you at the same time harvest what you planted. If you don't plant, you can't harvest. And you can't plant A and reap C. No. You reap what you sow. But after planting the seed, you must water it so that it gives you a proper product at the end of it all, known as the harvest. That is the law of the harvest. You cannot enjoy from what you have not worked for. That will be stealing. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. We are live on Pan-African TV, Africa's only Pan-African TV. We are also super live on Loud Silence TV. Oh, we are live on Black Empire TV as well. And via the power of satellite, we are seen all over the world. We are masters of Pan-Africanism on TV. This is the Black Pot, where we speak truth to power. And here, we don't criticize. If we must criticize, we'll do that on one condition: to build and not to destroy. It's all about our people, our continent, our land. This is the voice of the people. And remember that we are supported by ISIT. ISIT simply means in spirit, in truth. ISIT. In spirit, in truth. And if you're tired of the negativity of social media, if you are scared that your children would inherit this social media that is so negative, then this is the opportunity for you. In spirit, in truth. ISIT is a Ghanaian made, Ghanaian formulated, Ghanaian created, Ghanaian invented app. It does everything social media does except the negative ones. There is a powerful scientific algorithm that looks around and fetches out every kind of negativity, and it blocks it out, that it will never show on ISIT. ISIT is African made and is controlled from the US. This is the app that represents you. It's available on App Store and also on Google Play. Now, it does video calls, it does messaging, at the same time it does ordinary calls. Everything that social media does, it does as well, except the negative ones. ISIT is here to stay. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta, and today we have a number of issues to look at. Without much ado, I would like to encourage you to also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Black Empire Media. The Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. And click on the notification button so that you'll be notified every time we come online. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is a very disgraceful one. And it says, Ghanaian healthcare workers disgraced in London. How? You remember a few weeks ago, we were told by the government of Ghana so boastfully that a lot of nurses had been trained, and that these nurses were going to be exported to the UK. The government of Ghana was going to earn some foreign exchange through these nurses, and part of the foreign exchange was going to be yanked for the people of Ghana from the nurses. Now, this government decided to produce more nurses without hospitals to employ them. So a lot of nurses have been produced in the country, well trained. Unfortunately, they come out of school and they don't have any hospitals to work in. A lot of them are at home. Some have hit the streets already, demonstrating that they need jobs. And those who have been fortunate enough have left the shores of this country seeking greener pastures elsewhere. Listen to me. Now, we all heard the senior nurses come out to talk. The nurses associations coming out to threaten the government that, hey, if you don't employ us, we will leave the shores of this country and seek employment elsewhere. And true to their words, when you go to hospitals in Accra, there's a shortage of nurses. Some of the nurses do not want to be sent to places that are outside Accra and big cities like Kumasi and Sunyani. They prefer to stay at home, waiting for an opportunity for them to leave the country. So the government did not make any good plans for the trained nurses. Today, we are hearing sad news that our nurses that supposedly were going to be exported to the UK, that was a ready market for these nurses, is all a farce. It's a lie. Watch this. UK puts Ghana, 53 others, on red list for health workers recruitment. Come here. Let's run the story. Watch it. The United Kingdom has included Ghana, Nigeria, Angola, and Cameroon among 54 countries that should not be actively targeted for recruitment by health and social care workers and employers. Wow. The announcement was made by the UK government in its revised code of practice for international recruitment of health and social care personnel in England, which was published on the NHS employers website. The code states that some developing countries such as Ghana should not be targeted when actively recruiting health or care professionals. The countries placed on the red list of no active recruitment under the code are Afghanistan, Angola, Bangladesh, Benin, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Comoros, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Djibouti, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Gabon, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Haiti, Kiribati, Lao People's Republic, Lesotho, Liberia. What? A breathtaking list. Oh my God. It's not done. Many more countries are there. Madagascar, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, Federated States of Micronesia, Mozambique, Niger, Nigeria, Pakistan, Papua New Guinea, Rwanda, Samoa, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Solomon Islands, Somalia, South Sudan, United Republic of Tanzania, Timor-Leste, Togo, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Republic of Yemen, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Why is the UK saying no to these countries in terms of healthcare? Title Code of Practice, red and amber list of countries. The UK government said that the list is based upon the World Health Organization Workforce Support and Safeguard List 2023 and will be updated alongside progress reports of WHO Global Code implementation and reported to the World Health Assembly every 3 years. Jesus have mercy. Dash. So that's what it is. Come here. Watch me. So you see, we had our hopes on the UK. Oh, we have produced a lot of nurses. And these nurses, we are going to export to the UK. Oh, they are going to work hard. They are going to bring us foreign exchange. Now the UK has come out to say that no, your training is useless. We don't want this. And the UK has gone ahead to warn other countries to take their hands off these countries mentioned because they do not have any good training. In fact, it's an indictment on our health system, one. It's an indictment on our training. It's an indictment of our healthcare professionals. It's so sad. We have a junk currency, CD. We have a junk economy. Our president is running around with his finance minister begging and asking people to donate because we are so weak and useless. The American Vice President Kamala Harris was in this country. She signed a paltry check for our president who behaved like a house nigger and very, very respectful so that he could get that check. Sadly, Kamala Harris, before she left this country, what did she say? After disrespecting our legal system and also disrespecting our laws, what did she tell us? Point blank. She told the whole world that she was going to help Ghana rise out of the weak economy by soliciting for aid from wealthy countries to come down and help weak economies like Ghana. How do you feel when you are considered a weak economy? Where are our brains? Where are all the wonderful people we took to school to come back and salvage the image of this country? If you are not ready for independence, why did you go for it? It hurts me We were more than ready for independence in the days of Kwame Nkrumah. But it looks like the house niggers have all of a sudden come to take over the whole nation, and they are so much in a hurry, with so much momentum. They are geometrically accelerating the whole nation back into slavery, far away from colonialism. They look at the fate of your nurses. So the nurses, how do you feel? Very soon, they are going to tell you that the graduates from the universities in Ghana are not even worth it. Your training is not good. You are a junk country because you don't own your own educational system. Because when I graduate from Harvard, you respect me more than when I graduate from Cape Coast University. True? Oh, this is a Harvard professor walking. Everybody will turn around to look at you and stand attention, waiting for you to come and pass before they can brief. Oh, this is a professor from University of Development Studies, Navrongo. Who cares about you? Who is he to? What did he study? Pito studies or pork studies? That is how your mind has been programmed to look down on yourself. So you are always waiting for your slave master to give you a certain yardstick to authenticate you. You cannot authenticate yourself. You have to wait and be authenticated. Like Bob Marley said, we do not expect to be judged by the laws of men. It's a way of telling you that you are authenticating yourself. You are building your inner spirituality rather than waiting for the laws of men as a yardstick for authentication. Hallelujah. This might be too deep for some people, forgive me. Ghanaian healthcare workers disgraced in London. So those who have already found their way into the UK, what is the work of a nurse? You know what they are going to become? They will give them rubbish collectors. They will make them washers of dishes and cleaners of toilets. They will not get anywhere near nursing. They are not qualified. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Do we truly have independence? It hurts me to say this, but that is what it is. Until we gain true independence, which is in the mind and the action, through patriotism, forget it. We are running after a fleeting illusion. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushudemo, where we speak truth to power. Next story. What does it say? It says, Brianna Champion's irresponsible rants. Who is Brianna Champion? I respect this man. He was born in 1972. And I took my time to read about him. He went to school in both Ghana and also in America. That's Brianna Champion. Look when he was born. He's 50 years, 27th November, 1972, according to Wikipedia. And he was born in Suhum. Suhum is not that much of a city. Neither is it a village. You can call it a small town. And he belongs to the NPP, New Patriotic Party. He went to the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. And then he went to Johnson and Wales University. And then to the University of Ghana. And from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, he grabbed a certificate. What is his occupation? He is an Air Force person. What kind of Air Force? American Air Force. But what is his profession? I'm drawing your attention to something interesting. His occupation. Is it different from his profession? You see? You see where you are? What is your occupation? But what is your profession? Your profession is supposed to be what you have been trained in. Professional studies. That's why we call it your profession. What do you profess? Do you understand? Your professional activity. That is your profession. A lot of people are musicians here, they are not trained. So they cannot say that that is their profession. That might just be their career or better still occupation. What occupies them? In fact, his occupation is Air Force and his profession is politician. In Parliament, he has joined all these committees. But what is so interesting, and I would like to share with you, is that he's a crazy philanthropist. This guy, called Brianna Champion, crazy philanthropist. He gives as if he's crazy. Watch this. In July 2019, he presented a 150 kV generator to the Presbyterian College of Education, Abetiku, at Abetifi, in the Eastern region. That's his area there, where he's an MP. In August 2019, that's the following month, BRYAN, through the Brianna Champion Foundation, donated 250,000 cedis to the Presbyterian University College. And in April 2020, the following year, he presented over 820,000 Ghana cedis to the Afram Plains North, Afram Plains South, Eberim, Mpraisu, Nkoko, Abetifi, and Suhum. He gave all this money out. And in February 2021, he supported in the construction of over 100 boreholes in Abetifi, Pampaso, Abetifi Christian Quarters, Nkwetia, Kweutafu, Bokrowa, Nteso, Ankoma, Akwa, Siho, Jabreso, and Sumiakese. Wonderful towns. The names are so beautiful. And when you hear those names, they sound so romantic. Forgive me if I couldn't pronounce them properly. In July 2021, he presented farm inputs worth 500,000 Ghana cedis. That's 500,000 to over 6,000 farmers in the Kwewu East District to aid in their farming work. What a man. He didn't end there. 2022, just last year, he gave a Suzuki Swift SRS vehicle to the best midwife in the Abetifi constituency. And in August 2022, he donated 170,000 plus 42 sewing machines and 26 hairdressers to the dressmakers and hairdressers associations in his constituency. A lot of the activity is done in his constituency. Many people might say because he wants to retain power. But we will go beyond that and say that he's a crazy philanthropist. He helps people. I like people who think about the people. But looking at all these things and all the honors he got for himself, in 2020, he had an award from Kasapreku Company Limited for his support against COVID-19 during the pandemic. And in 2021, the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, honored BRYAN for giving scholarships to their members in the Kwewu East District. In fact, he is the owner of the biggest hotel in Africa. It's called Rock City. We have had time to look at Rock City right here on this show. So this is a man who thinks about the people, at least the people in his constituency. I like people like this. But look what he said over the weekend. And this is enough to negate all the things that he has done. If a man like this can support people in his constituency and beyond, and all of a sudden make utterances that go against his philanthropism, then I am confused. But this is a man. Remember, we were talking about the occupation and what? Profession. He's a professional politician. Occupational Air Force man. Air Force, underline that. Where did he have his training? Watch this. Watch it. U.S. Air Force released details of Brianna Champion's service. Service. He served. Watch the story. What does it say? Bring it. It says, days after a purported U.S. Air Force certificate of Abetifi Member of Parliament, Brianna Champion was published by opposition members on social media to call out the MP for some controversial political comments Further details of his days as a military man have emerged. US-based social media broadcaster Kevin Taylor on Sunday, April 10, published documents he claims to have gotten from the US military's National Personnel Record Center, that's the National Archives, through the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, as part of information releasable under the act. Details of Achampong's 4 years in the army were given as follows. A, the MP status is given as discharged. Do you know what it means to say discharged? When your period of service is over, then they let you go. Nicely, officially, that means you are discharged, not retired. It's different from saying that you are retired. Your retirement period is not up, but you have served to a certain point and you are discharged. B, his assignment and geographical location was also given as National Guard, Rose Island. More detail. Watch this. C, BRYAN, the document stated, was trained at Fuel's apprentice school. Fuel. D, with respect to medals and decorations, BRYAN received 2. Air Force Training Ribbon, National Defense Service Medal, and Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. Wow. E, his service duration was given as May 31, 2005 to March 1, 2009. That's about 4 years of service. He was, however, active. Hallelujah. His service period was for 4 years, but he was active for how long? July 5, 2006 to September 12, 2006. How many months? July, August, September. July, August, September. 3 months. Out of the 4 years, he was active for 3 months. Purported certificate saga. The certificate was first shared by National Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Sami Gyamfi, in his response to a recent political boom by Achampong, who is also member of Parliament for Abetifi, addressing a new patriotic party. This is where we are coming to. Addressing a new patriotic party MPP rally in the Eastern region on Saturday, April 8th. The minister said his party was never going to relinquish power to the opposition National Democratic Congress after the 2024 general elections. It means it doesn't matter the outcome. We won't give you the power. The MP's comments have attracted a lot of backlash, especially from members of the NDC, daring him and others to try rigging the upcoming polls. Gyamfi, through his post, also stressed the importance of sovereignty to drive home the point that power rested with the people and not with a political party. Hallelujah. He also took a swipe at the military background of the minister, who served for 2 years in the US Air Force. So did he serve for 2 years or 3 months? He was supposed to be there for 4 years, but his active periods were 3 months. Dash this away. Dash it away. Now let me take you back to 2019. In 2019, Brianna Champion, listen attentively, was the minister designate for what? National security. The whole nation security. Before Kandapa. Am I right? Before Kandapa, Brianna Champion. National security. What is his training? U.S. Army. 3 months of active service at the fuels department. Petrol, diesel, and kerosene is enough to be the national guard of our what? Security. Listen. The whole nation's security rested in a man who worked in the fuels department of the American Air Force for 3 months actively. The rest of the 4 years, we don't know if he was sleeping or he was running after kusie or he was looking for fufu to eat. I don't know. In 2019, the first person to warn us about Brianna Champion was a mosquito. A mosquito, dangerous mosquito. Watch the mosquito. Hey! Afghan terrorists may attack Ghana because of Brianna Champion. And this is the general of all the mosquitoes, General Mosquito. This might sound absurd, but let's make a meaning out of this. General Secretary of the main opposition NDC, Johnson Asedun Ketia, says President Akufo-Addo's appointment of Brianna Champion as Minister of State in charge of national security is an open invitation for terrorists to attack Ghana. Why? Why? That's why I said take your time. According to him, Brianna Champion, who once served in the U.S. Army, was part of the soldiers who went to Afghanistan to destroy that country. And so he's been on the target list, their target list. He adds that the terrorists, knowing that Brianna Champion, after destroying their country, has been put in charge of Ghana's security, could push them to strike the country since they consider him an enemy. Dash it away. So when you go into the archives, you tease out some of these things. General Mosquito warned. Well, Afghans did not come here to attack us because we are so religious. We are building a cathedral for God. So because of that, God didn't allow that. But interestingly, I'm going to tell you something that will break your heart. You know Kamala Harris just came here. You know that, right? You know that the president was in America. And over there in America, what did the president tell the American people? That in Burkina Faso, Wagner from Russia had come there parading the borders between Ghana and Burkina Faso. And that the American people should come and help with security in this country. Kamala Harris was here. But before Kamala Harris came, let me open your eyes to something interesting. Are you aware that a lot of the countries that went to America to train in the military, the Air Force, the military, they went back and staged coups in their countries? And the American Parliament is not happy about it, Congress. And they brought these military heads to Congress and questioned them. I don't want to lengthen this. I would have played some of these tapes for you to see. Asking the military heads in America, why is it that everywhere you go and train the Africans, they get involved in some sort of terrorism, coup d'etats, upheavals, so-called uprisings? So if Brianna Champion is behaving like this, there must be a reason. What did the Americans give them to give them this Dutch courage? What did Brianna Champion actually say? He said that during the coming elections, if the NDC, that's the opposition party, sitting behind, hoping to come into power again, decides to go to the polls with violence, treachery, intimidation, and foolishness, they would match them boot for boot. And that under no circumstances would they ever relinquish power to the NDC. Somebody who is ready to meet violence with violence. In the last elections, 8 people were shot and killed before these people got into power. Brianna Champion and his people. That's not enough. Now they are going to meet violence with violence. And this is a philanthropist. Let your children and your family be involved in that violence. These are the people who ran to America and England. And then they say, violence, violence, fight, we have the men. Your little American training will not save you. Even America lost in the Vietnam War. with all its might. Even America was humbled by Osama bin Laden for a long period. It's not always that the superpower wins. So if you have a little bit of fuel training, kerosene, petrol, and diesel training from America, it is not enough to make you feel like King Kong. We need our peace in this country. We need our peace in this country. Mr. Champion is so disgraceful. But at the same time, NDC, minority. Oh, my friend Ato. So today you don't know me. Because of politics, today you don't know me. Oh, my friend Ato. You all remember the vetting of this guy, Brianna Champion. One of the richest in his party. He has the biggest hotel in Africa, Rock City. If violence breaks up, you will not enjoy your Rock City. Who is going to come there? When there's violence and everybody's running for their lives, nobody will have time for any hotel. Your money will be useless. Oh, my friend Ato, the humble man we saw talking today, all of a sudden is talking violence. Thanks to the traitors who voted these hoodlums and warmongers into power. Today you see, you are crying foul, but you are the same people who voted them in there. Because you took bribes as we were told. Shame on you. Dash it away. When we return, we got more. Hey! Wayo! This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show, where we speak truth to power. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called, it's called Blakk Empire Media. And Black is spelled BLAKK. And remember, we are supported by ISIT. ISIT. Now, ISIT is that app, social media app, that wonderful, powerful app that is against all forms of negativity. Now, if you're tired of social media negativity, the nudity, the violence, the racism, then this is your app. It's free. All you need to do is just to download it on App Store. Also download it from Google Play. And then you can video call for free. You can make calls for free. And you meet some wonderful people online. I am on ISIT. Let's link up. Let's talk. Video talk. Normal talk. Messaging. And so on and so forth. Upload your photographs. Do business. Meet great minds. And make sure that you are uplifted. ISIT simply means in spirit, in truth. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And of course, my name, Blakk Rasta. Next story. What does the next story say? Watch it. It says what? Watch. It says, former Ghana captain Stephen Appiah cries bitter tears. Who is Stephen Appiah? Watch him. This is Stephen Appiah. Capito, I like him. He's a big Black Rasta fan. In fact, when you go to him and hear him singing and dancing to Black Rasta music, you'll be shocked. He has never hidden his love for Black Rasta. And I love him. He was one of the best captains we had for the Black Stars. No two ways about that. United the people. Now, new information is coming out. That at the time when no player wanted to play for the Black Stars, he spent his own pocket money from Torino and some other such places where he plied his trade, paid for their plane fares, and even paid winning bonuses for players just to uplift the image of the Black Stars. But today, this is what he says. Stephen Appiah regrets wasting money to revive uninteresting Black Stars. Run the story. Former Black Stars skipper Stephen Appiah has said sometimes he questions himself for spending his money on uninteresting Black Stars in the past. Appiah revealed in an interview with Sumpa Sports that at some point he had to pay for the players' plane tickets because they found the Black Stars unexciting. The ex-Juventus player, who is eager to assist the Black Stars in regaining their competitive status, but has been hesitant due to unknown reasons, stated that he once paid winning bonuses to players after games. One thing that is painful is that some of us, we were very humble, but when you know your value, you don't want to do certain things or mingle with certain people. We all want to help because we have helped before, even if it wasn't enough, he said. There was a time everybody had no interest in playing for the Black Stars. There was a time I had to pay for players' plane tickets to Ghana. And there was a time I paid winning bonuses. The 42-year-old, who is not impressed with how the team is run currently, implied that he regrets spending his money on the team, but hopes things will get better. Dash. I love Capito, Stephen Appiah. Step Up. He had his clothing line called Step Up. He's been an ambassador for so many different brands in Ghana. He's still exercising and trying to keep fit. He's only 42. I'm 48. You know, if it's not football age, then it means that I'm 6 years older than him. But you know how some of our players, I'm not implying that he has a football age. But a lot of our players, in fact, even if they are 70, their age is 22. We know that. And it's so unfortunate. So instead of giving the chance to younger ones to come and exhibit their talent, no, rocks of ages fill the Black Stars and some other such entities of football in Ghana. And that is sad. Football age is so normal. I hear even at the army, they also have their own kind of football age. And you don't ask in the army, how old are you? No. Where are we going? Who are we deceiving? Who are we lying to? If I'm 100, I'm 100. Glory be to the Most High. I'm 48 and I say it every time. But no, 70-year-old is 21. And they wear yomo all over their beard and their, you know. How did I digress into this? So Stephen Appiah is not saying he regretted, but from what he's saying, he thinks that he deserves better. And the Black Stars deserves better. Stephen Appiah is looking for a chance to be able to deal with the Black Stars. I said, what? There are a lot of things he can do. Can he be taken for a certain kind of training? This is a former captain. Can we pave the way for him? Some training so he can come and engage the Black Stars. During his reign as the Black Stars captain, it was the most peaceful. In the days of Abedi, we saw so much crisis, even though they had the best crop of players ever. They never won a single laurel. And that's my opinion. Stephen Appiah brought peace. It was beautiful. So many people praised him. Why don't you honor him by giving him an opportunity to serve the Black Stars again in a manager's position? He could manage what you deem necessary after some training that he might require. It's nice. It is nice. And Stephen Appiah says that it is not about grammar and big English. Football is supposed to be managed by footballers. Many people think that this is controversial. And one of those is this guy. He says he's disappointed that Stephen Appiah says this. And this is Ket Okreku's boy. You know Ket Okreku is the GFA boss. Watch this. Ket Okreku's boy goes after Stephen Appiah for football is run by footballers and not grammar. or grammarians. I think it would have been a better headline like that. Ketokraku's boy goes after Stephen Appiah for football is run by footballers and not grammarians. Comment. Wow. National Division 1 board member Sheikh Tawfiq Abdul Kader Senu has stated that Stephen Appiah's claim that ex-footballers have been sidelined in the Ghana Football Administration is false. In a Facebook post to deny the former Black Stars captain statement, Sheikh Tawfiq mentioned former Black Stars players, including Stephen Appiah, who have had an appointment at the Ghana Football Association. In his counter-argument, he mentioned Samuel Osei Kufuor, Didi Dramani, George Boateng, Richard Olele Kingston, and many others. He claims that the ex-footballers have been sidelined in football. His claim that ex-footballers have been sidelined in football cannot be true, and I stand to prove that. Dash this away. So, Stephen Appiah has a clear-cut statement. He wants to be able to come and help. Can we check his abilities and see if he's fit for any position in the Black Stars? He has a heart for the Black Stars, and he demonstrated it from when he was captain and even beyond. He still believes that he has something. It's for us to look at him and see what he can do. Look at Roger Miller. At a time so many people thought he should have retired, he went to the World Cup as an honoree. He became the oldest player to score at the World Cup. Give Stephen Appiah a chance. When we return, we got more. Hey! Wayo!
Skipper George. Blackpot. Coco show them.
This is the Blackpot, aka Kuku Shodemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Come here. I fear flying. I'm not sure I will fly to Lesotho until that runway is fixed. How about you? Maybe you like adventure. So your place is the runway in Lesotho. This is the Blackpot, aka Kuku Shodemo. Next story. And what does it say? Watch it. It says what? Watch. Kissing Dalai Lama apologizes for pedophilic actions. Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama. That's him. He is a Tibetan from Tibet. China wants him. They see him as a separatist. He tried to cause confusion in China years ago, according to Chinese authorities. And he was chased out of China. He found himself in Tibet and now lives in India. He's supposed to be a holy man who is talking about cultural integration and peace for the world. But something happened. Look at him. He went somewhere and a little child walked over to him and said, "Please, can I have a hug, Your Holiness?" He lifted him up and removed his tongue, like you said, and said, "Swallow the tongue." The little boy was probably surprised, and he went ahead to kiss him on the lips and he kissed him also on the cheek. This is purely pedophilic. You know what it means to say pedophilia? An adult who engages in sexual acts with minors, little children. This is not supposed to be seen anywhere in the world, let alone from a holy man of God. Let's look at the story. It's shocking. He apologizes. Dalai Lama apologizes after kissing boy and asking him to suck up my tongue. What kind of dirty language is that? This is a man who is not even supposed to have sex. Like some Catholic priests, suck up my tongue. And the Catholic Church, in fact, for some time now, has had a lot of pedophiles and gays in there. It's an open secret. The Dalai Lama has apologized after he faced allegations of inappropriate behavior after kissing a young boy on the lips and asking him to suck up his tongue at a public event in India. The interaction, which took place in late February at the Dalai Lama's temple in Dharamshala, was attended by about 100 young students who had just graduated from the Indian M3M Foundation. The Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, is the holiest figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Holiest. And has lived in exile in India since 1959, when Tibet was annexed by China. In a video that has gone viral, one of the young male students approached a microphone at the event and asked the Dalai Lama, "Can I hug you?" The Dalai Lama, 87 years, told the boy to come up to the platform where he was seated, motioning to his cheek, his head saying, "First here," after which the child kissed him and gave him a hug. The Dalai Lama kept hold of the boy, saying, "I think here also," and then planted a kiss on his lips. "And suck my tongue," the Dalai Lama then said, sticking out his tongue, forehead to forehead with the boy. The boy quickly stuck out his own tongue and went to move away, while the Dalai Lama laughed and pulled the boy in for another hug as the audience laughed. The spiritual leader then spoke to the boy, advising him to look to those who create peace and happiness and not to follow human beings who always kill other people, before giving him a final hug. As the video spread across the internet, it was condemned by many who called it inappropriate, scandalous, and disgusting. The controversy prompted an apology from the office of the Dalai Lama, who said his behavior had been innocent and playful. He said in a statement, His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt these words may have caused. Dash it away. He went ahead to say, "Oh, he's a playful man. He was just playing." Suck up my tongue? Are you crazy? Suck up whose tongue? Are you mad? What kind of play is that? What kind of play is that? You are supposed to be the holiest man. If this was a Christian pastor who had asked people to suck up their tongues, he would have been slaughtered. Please don't let us play like this. This is no play. I respect the Dalai Lama. I respect His Holiness. If he's getting too old to follow values, I think he should rest. Sometimes when men get too old, they are not in control of their faculties, and some of these things can happen. He's 87. Many people don't reach there and they've already lost it all. It's possible that he's going through a certain delusional state because of old age. So I'm not going to say anything bad. All I say is that check him up. If he doesn't have to be in public, let him rest. Dash it away. Final story, and I'm done. I'm going to spend just a few seconds on this. Corrupt Nigeria summoned to the UFC. You know the UFC, right? I don't care to know what it fully stands for. But I know that it's a dirty, violent sport. Now you see the man at the end. They call him Adesanya. What is the first name? Something Adesanya. Israel Adesanya. Some people simply call him Easy. I am an anti-boxing person. Violent sport. We see people hitting each other. The other day I spoke with, somebody on radio, and he told me, oh, it is not violent. They wear gloves and all that. Look at somebody's face. Now they use their, you just saw it. The knee. Bah! They use their elbows, breaking people's noses, their jaws, and all that. That's the UFC. And they call it a sport. What kind of a generation are we in? Violence has become the order of the day, and people pay to go and watch people break each other's jaws. And there are doctors who have vowed that they will keep people alive who also support this. They will come and brush off some blood. What hypocrisy is that? You watch people are being beaten, and then you come in and say you are providing medical care. Are you okay? This is the UFC. Breaking each other's jaws, killing each other for money. In fact, Israel Adesanya just fought somebody. He's from Nigeria, but he was raised in New Zealand. From his accent, you can tell he's not lived in Nigeria for long, but he's a proud Nigerian. He fought this guy here. They call him Pereira or something. He had beaten Israel twice in kickboxing already. And when they met at the UFC, he beat Israel Adesanya. So this was revenge time for him. And Israel Adesanya revenged this in just 2 rounds, we are told. Now, after that, Israel Adesanya made a speech which I would like to draw your attention to. Watch this. Nigeria, very corrupt place. And this Israel Adesanya. New Zealander, Nigerian mixed martial arts artist, Israel Adesanya has described Nigeria as a very corrupt place. Very corrupt. Adesanya pointed out that the Nigerian leaders are desperate to loot public funds. He said, Nigeria is a very corrupt place. I love my people, but it is just that the government, everyone trying to make a way, find a way to siphon money, dash it away. He still represents Nigeria. He wears the Nigerian flag. He tries to speak some Nigerian pidgin representing Nigeria, but he says Nigeria is corrupt. Why are we corrupt? Yet we are the most religious. Nigeria is the most religious country in Africa. Every corner you go, Allahu Akbar, Allah, everywhere. Yet you are corrupt. How do you make your religion attractive when you are so corrupt? The ministers in the government are Muslims and Christians. The last president you had was Muslim. He was president over a very corrupt administration. After him, a Christian is coming in. Corruption is going to continue. Already, that guy has been cited for drug trafficking. Why are we corrupt? I just don't understand. How much do you need to eat? How many rooms can you sleep in at a time? Are you that greedy? This thing that Israel Adesanya has said will go a long way to send people away from Nigeria in terms of business. This is a man who is in the eyes of the sporting world right now in terms of the dirty UFC. And this thing that he has said, Kaya Jeme. Thank you for speaking the truth. Let us criticize our leaders, call them out when they are wrong, so that we can have a better continent. It's been the Blakk Fort, aka Kukusholomo, where we speak truth to power. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Blakk Empire Media. That's BLAKKRASTA. My name is Blakk Rasta, and this is Blakk Empire Media. Click on the notification button so that you'll be notified every time. And remember to also download the Is It app on Google Play and also App Store, so that you can make video calls like you see here, very clean and very nice, very, very crisp and very clear. All the things you can do with social media, you can do with this one as well. Just that this one is positive. You don't have nakedness, you don't have violence, you don't have racism. There are powerful algorithms that take out all these things. This has been the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shonamo. I'll see you at the end of the tunnel. May God bless Africa. Good night. Hey! Whoa!